Hello, 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 and welcome back to Wisdom and Wealth Wednesday, y'all. It is Wisdom and Wealth Wednesday. And if you don't know, I'm Lanisha Marie, aka the Fly Coach that stands for Fulfilling Living Year Round. It is my goal and my intention to help individuals thrive in every area of life. But not only that, I help women break limits off of their mindset and their money so that they can live the life of their dreams. Okay? We're turning dreams into reality around here. And so, Wisdom and Wealth Wednesday, if you're new to this particular segment on my channel, it is all about and why it came about is just the fact that, guess what? There are so many different ways to make money. There are so many different ways to do things. But number one, we have to be aligned. We have to be intentional in what we're doing because every good idea is not a God idea. And so it's all about living intentionally and doing what God told us to do. And by doing that, it will create additional income streams. But not only that, we not only do we have to have wisdom when it comes to creating wealth, but we need wisdom as it relates to maintaining it and sustaining it far beyond when it's time for us to leave this earth. And so it's all about what are we doing to build the legacy and maintain and sustain it for those that come after us. So that's where Wisdom and Wealth Wednesday came about. And it's just really all about what are we doing and how I love to help individuals live a fly life. But a fly life is a free life. Because I always say, and I have it tattooed on me, to fly is to be free. So it's all about creating that freedom, all about living intentionally on purpose, creating that legacy income, and most importantly, but maybe not importantly, but equally as importantly, traveling. Okay. So on today's short but brief segment, it may hurt a little bit, it may sting a little bit, but we have to take an honest look at what we are doing, what we may not be doing. But it's a perfect opportunity and a necessary check-in if you have been playing small, okay? Because I'm going to say this, you don't get to go ghost on your gifts, ignore your audience, or go quiet on your business and then expect big results. It doesn't work like that. What does ghosting on your gifts look like? That's sitting on what God gave you. You're gifted, but you are hiding. And I tell my clients, I tell my travel business partners, we are not in business to be secrets. We're in business because we have something on the inside of us. We have something that this very world needs. And that's part of the framework that I go through with my clients is making sure that what we're doing is not selfishly for us, but gifts are meant to be given. It's all about serving the next individual because someone needs what we have. Someone is waiting for us to show up. And that goes into number two of what it looks like to really ghost your business is you're ignoring your audience. Okay. Your audience are the people that are assigned specifically to you. They're assigned to your voice. They're watching, they're waiting for you to get in position. And they're waiting for you to get in position and do so consistently, which leads us to number three. You go quiet on your business. What does that mean? Inconsistent visibility means inconsistent income. So the first question that I always ask someone when they're like, Lanisha, I'm struggling in my business. Lanisha, I am over here. It's a challenge. I'm trying to work through this. I go straight to their profile and I say, I had to scroll so far just to even get to find out what you do for business. You don't even talk about it. But we are not in business to be secrets. That's not why we started, at least not me. And I hope the same is true for you. But if this is an area that you struggle with, I'm going to just plug this in really quickly. I wrote a whole entire ebook. I'll link it in the description. It's called The Secret Entrepreneur. And it's written for those individuals that need help understanding the power of networking and collaboration and how that can take your business so much further. But it requires you to talk about your business, okay? And so you have to talk about your business when you're one-to-one with individuals. Maybe you're in a group setting on your social media platforms. My challenge for my clients and people that I work with, to find 2 ways to talk about your business a day at a minimum, okay? Because that is how you keep it at the forefront of people's minds. That is how you keep it fresh. If anyone has to message you and they say, hey, are you still in business? That is not a compliment. It's because you're not talking about it enough. You're not sharing it enough that they think you quit. That is an insult. When someone has to say, are you still in business? It's because they think you quit. They don't know because you're not actively talking about it. You're not actively showing up. And so you cannot afford to go quiet on your business. Okay. So let me ask you a quick question. How can you expect overflow when you keep vanishing from the very thing God told you to build? Now, this goes back to being intentional, right? This goes back to, why are we doing what we're doing? Are we doing it because we've truly been called to it? Or are we just doing it because we see somebody else doing it? And that's why I really work with people to say, no, we need to be intentional about what we're doing. Make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. What you're supposed to be doing is not going to look like what the next person is doing. And because guess what? I say it all the time. There are so many coaches out here, right? But there's only the fly coach. There are so many individuals that work in the travel business. But guess what? There's only Fly Travel Group. The experience that I give and the destinations that I saw, that it's only me that I'm doing it. I'm doing it the way that Lanisha does it. And that's the same. And the same is true with you. That you cannot ghost or you cannot vanish from the very thing that God told you to build. God told me to do one step at a time. So many people get paralyzed and they get stuck because they're focused on step 20 when you need to be focused on taking the very first step, doing the first thing that you were told and instructed to do, and walking it out from there. Okay. Now, I do want to take a few quick moments before I wrap this live up, and I want to talk about the cost of being silent and why you cannot afford to be silent. Okay. So first things first, every time you stay quiet, momentum stalls. What does that mean? Every time you go quiet on your business, every time you stop posting, it gets easier and easier to not post at all, right? And the same is true with anything, any type of goal that you may be working on, not just in business. The same could be true when it comes to working out. You could be in the groove, getting it in with the workouts. And I can use myself transparently. The minute you stop working out, it gets easier and easier to not work out. And then when you make up your mind and decision to say, okay, I need to get back on this thing, now it's a little bit more challenging, right? Because your momentum stalled. So that's why it's so important to stay consistent and keep working and keep going, okay? You can't afford to go MIA. Another cost of being silent is that every time you stay quiet, someone else rises in your place. Okay. Every time you don't show up, there's somebody else. There's 10 other people that chose to show up. So every time that you chose not to show up, every time that you chose not to sell that product or service that you have, somebody else is selling to your client, all because you chose to stay quiet. So we need you to show up and show up consistently. Another cost of staying silent is that wisdom says to steward the gift. Wealth follows visibility, obedience, and consistency. Okay? And this goes back to why it's Wisdom and Wealth Wednesday, because wisdom is going to show you how to be a better steward of the gift that you have. One thing my dad always says is that when you become more selective, you become more effective. Wisdom shows you what to do, what not to do, what aligns with what you should be doing, what does not align with what you should be doing. So therefore, you're not giving any attention to it. Wisdom shows you how to be a better steward of your gift. But wealth is going to follow visibility. Okay? You cannot create wealth if you are not visible. You cannot create wealth if you're not obedient and if you're not doing the thing that you know that you should be doing. You cannot create wealth if you're not consistently showing up. Okay. And just a quick story about me is because I've gone on this journey as well, and why I still have so much further to go. I am not where I was when I started in the beginning. I've been in business now for 6 years. I've been in business full time for 2 years. And guess what? It's a continual learning process and journey. But there was once upon a time, y'all, when I was scared to do a video. Literally scared to do a video. And I have it documented on my timeline on Facebook because I did my very first video on January 1st of 2020. That was the first time. I was the girl who just wanted to post a pretty selfie and that's it and get off. Post a quote and get off. No. But at the end of the day, that was the enemy that was trying to keep me silent from using my voice when I have to use my voice. I have to speak. I have to show up because I understand that is one of the gifts that God gave me. I understand that I have to speak in order to share my testimony, in order to share the different tools, tips, the different breakthroughs, the different strategies that God has given me to help individuals take their place in their position in order to go to their next level, in order to fly, in order to elevate in their season and wherever God has them. But guess what? It's through consistency that it's nothing now for me to not only just post a video, but we going live now. We're doing lives, okay? We're creating series. We're showing up. And the content that I do now is not like the content that I started doing when I first started showing up. I look at some of those videos and I'm like, oh my goodness gracious, I cannot believe that. And even though I am not a film media production anybody, and I still have a long way to go in terms of my equipment, I've still made some major improvements, and I'm excited about my progress, and it's only going to keep getting better as long as I keep showing up, as long as I keep learning, as long as I keep doing, as long as I keep taking a step forward. I can only get better, okay? But as long as I don't take any step, I'm almost taking a step backwards, because now that momentum is gone that we talked about, okay? So understand, and I'll just share this as we wrap this up. You don't have a motivation problem. You have a momentum problem. And the shift happens when you say yes again. Some of you watching this need to say yes again. You need to say yes again to get even going, because you fell off, and it's okay. It happens. Sometimes life happens. Sometimes things are completely out of control and it just knocks us off. It just knocks us off track. But this is your check-in. This is the moment for you to say, guess what? I need to get back on it. I need to say yes again to my purpose. I need to say yes again to God. I need to say yes again to my gift. I need to say yes again to doing the thing that God called me and commanded me to do, because that thing on the inside of me, it just won't go away. So I need to say yes again, and I need to get to work. Okay? So it may not be that you have a motivation problem. You just have a momentum problem. You start and stop. You start and stop. You start and stop. And don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure, like, even when it comes to vehicles, you use up more gas when you keep turning on and off your car. And it's better to just leave it on. I heard, but don't quote me on that. I'm not a car girly. That's above me. Okay. So as I wrap this up and as we land this plane, I want to offer you a couple of different opportunities. Okay. So whether you are looking for a freedom-based income stream, maybe you're looking to turn something that you are already doing into income. I help individuals find their gold mine. I help individuals tap into what they are already doing and learn how to monetize it. But not only just learning how to monetize it, but showing up consistently in order to monetize it, okay? Maybe you are also like me, you love travel, and I show individuals how to monetize their love for travel. Travel is a $9 trillion industry. I love what I do in the travel space. I love how I've been able to merge travel with my coaching business. I help individuals do the same thing. So whether it's booking travel, group trips, maybe it's a retreat. I just got back from my Purpose in Paradise retreat. There is money to be made in the world of travel, because people are always going to travel. Travel may go up, travel may go down, but travel never, ever goes away. And so if you're looking to learn how you can integrate travel into your business portfolio, let me know, because there are up to 8 income streams available in travel that people do not know and they are not aware of. Okay. And then the last thing is that if you know that you are sitting on whatever it is that God told you to do, it could be writing that book, it could be starting the business, it could be doing whatever it is that you know that God told you to do. It could be as simple as working on your credit, working on your finances. It could be working on your health, whatever it is. Like I said at the beginning of this video, my goal is to help individuals thrive in every area of life, spiritually, mentally, physically, financially, and professionally. So if there's something that you know that God is calling you to do, but you're just not fully walking in that thing, then definitely I want you to slide into these comments and go ahead and comment the word ready. Go ahead and comment the word ready. And then I want you to take a next step of bold action and schedule a short breakthrough strategy call so we can go ahead and talk through all of these options that are available for you to help you show up consistently, but better yet, change your life. Because in order to change your life, you're going to have to change your actions, your behavior, and your mindset. Okay. So if you are ready for more income and impact, if you need structure and strategy around what God told you to do, if you want to travel, if you want to create wealth, or if you want to live on purpose, it is time to fly. You are not behind. You are just one bold yes away from momentum. I will see you on the next live. Have an amazing day.